What's up, guys? It's Paul here from the 95 Investors Club channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about two stocks that have been quietly short squeezing that not a whole lot of people have been giving attention to. I want to show you what the catalysts have been for why they shot up. I want to quickly recap the three factors that I talked about in my previous video as to why these stocks have started short squeezing a little bit, as well as talk to you about a few other stocks that I'm watching currently that I think have the potential to short squeeze. Okay, so right off the bat, if you watched my previous video, you know that Virgin Galactic is one of the stocks that I've been watching. If you look at this website, the highshortinterest.com, Virgin Galactic is the third most shorted stock, right below GameStop and AMC. And while GameStop and AMC have been meme stocks which don't have a whole lot of future potential, Virgin Galactic, on the other hand, has a lot of potential for the future. And I told you that with the high short interest and a relatively small market cap under 10 billion, if there is some kind of good news for Virgin Galactic, like any chance of them going back into space again, something about their launch program which got cancelled back in December, I told you that Virgin Galactic is going to shoot up a lot because of the high short interest, okay? And fortunately, just this morning, they actually announced that their Spaceship Two suborbital spaceplane can potentially launch by mid-Feb, 2 months after technical problem aborted them earlier in the launch attempt. Okay, so now the exciting thing is their next window is going to open up on Feb 13th, and just depending on good weather conditions and technical readiness, they're planning to do their flight test. Okay, now this is exactly what I was talking to you about in my previous video. They needed some kind of good news for the stock to shoot up, and if the stock starts shooting up, obviously all those people who have been shorting it will be forced to cover their shorts, and it's going to keep pushing the price up. Okay, now this is obviously very exciting because moments after the spaceplane's release from the White Knight 2 aircraft back in December 12th, they have had some the hybrid rocket motor ignited, but it almost immediately shut down, which is exactly why they had to cancel the launch, and they were able to safely land back at the Spaceport America. But after doing a root cause analysis and completing the corrective work required and carrying out extensive ground testing, they're finally ready to potentially launch it again by Feb 13th. Okay, so with that piece of good news, Virgin Galactic shot up a crazy 21.5% today and seems to be up even another 9% after hours. Okay, so I told you about how if they retest the previous highs around $42, around here 39, they briefly dropped below 39, retested 42.50, which was the previous highs. And one piece of good news that we saw on Monday, and that's it, they just rocketed back up literally to the moon because Virgin Galactic can do space travel. So definitely add Virgin Galactic to your watch list, guys. I don't know how much more it can go, but if it does, you could potentially do a day trade, because at this point I'd be hesitant with calls. I have shares for now, they're up a crazy 260%, but I did sell a covered call today. The IV on this is really high. I got a pretty good credit, but obviously I sold them too soon, so I'm down on the position. But that doesn't really matter, because with the covered call, I just need them to be below 55 by March 19th, and I do expect them to pull back eventually. Okay. If you look at the Greeks, yeah, the implied volatility is 180%, which is really high. And whenever the IV is really high on a particular option, that's the perfect time to actually sell an option rather than buy it. Okay, so if you had 100 shares of Virgin Galactic, this is a great time to sell covered calls. And in fact, especially with the move after hours that you see here, tomorrow could also be a good opportunity to sell a covered call if you haven't already. Okay. Now, on top of Virgin Galactic, Fubo was another stock that I talked to you about in my previous video. They needed some kind of good news to shoot up, and they shot up 24% today, again because they're the fourth most shorted stock based on this website that you see here. And I was reading this article on Motley Fool as to why Fubo potentially was short squeezing. First piece of news was the fact that Wedbush actually gave them a price target lift. They raised the price target from $40 to $50, right here that you can see. And there's also a lot of enthusiasm behind FuboTV itself. Their preliminary fourth quarter numbers already came out. They're expecting it to be up 77 to 84% year over year. They're expecting to report a subscriber growth rate better than 72%. All of which are incredible growth rates. Okay, so Fubo does have a lot of catalysts already, and we just needed some piece of good news that came out, like a price target lift, for example, for them to start shooting up, and that's exactly why they shot up 24% today. Okay, now last time Fubo got some piece of good news, they shot up from 27 to 62 in just a single week. So I'm curious to see how far Fubo can go. They're down a little bit after hours, but I'd like to see where else it might go. I just have put credit spreads for now, again, because the IV is really high. These put credit spreads expire on Feb 19th, and all I need is for Fubo to stay about 35 by Feb 19th. Then these put would expire worthless, and I'll keep the full collateral. So that's how I'm playing Fubo. So if you are looking to get into these stocks that have shot up a lot, I would recommend spreads, because with spreads you don't have to worry about IV and a quick theta decay or any of that, okay? But if you just get puts or just get calls, that's when you're potentially going to get hurt, okay? So these are the two stocks that I want to talk to you about in terms of ones that are quietly short squeezing that not a lot of people are talking about. But a few other stocks that I want to look at are, I'd like to start with this website, High Short Interest. So Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't have too much hopes for those. They dropped quite a bit today, so let's see where they settle down here. They dropped 14.35%, obviously not a good sign. GameStop, as you guys can see, even though the short interest is so high, it finally started dropping already. Dropped 30% for today, dropped another 15.8% after hours. So I told you guys, be careful with these stocks. They shot up so much. All the people who are so-called holding the line, I think, are going to get hurt. So I just want you guys to be careful. You know, if you're holding the line, at some point you're going to be the last one in the line, and you're the one who's going to lose a lot of money. So please be careful with stocks like GameStop, even AMC. It looked like it was holding up most of the day. They were able to stay green for the most part. They were hovering around 14. Wasn't quite sure where it's going to go, but they seem to be down 6.5% after hours. So let's see how they work out. Let's look at Nokia, which a lot of people are pumping as well. They were up 7% today, not too bad at all. But what I've noticed is a lot of these stocks that are being hyped up as being short squeezed, they had a quick little spike and came back down within just a few days. Okay. Now, part of it is kind of a good sign, because it lets people not chase it for a long time. It's gone up, gone back down. But Nokia, in my opinion, could be a potential good long-term hold because of 5G, like I mentioned in my previous video. I don't think it can short squeeze a whole lot, but if you want to hold shares for the next few years, and you think Nokia has a bright future, then I would recommend that. But if you think it's going to short squeeze, I don't think Nokia has the potential, okay? On this list, I showed you in the last video as well that Nokia does not have a high short interest. Now, in terms of stocks that do have a high short interest, I was telling you about Beyond Meat here. Beyond Meat is right here, which is about the 11th or 12th most shorted stock with a short interest of 43%. If you look at the chart here, they shot up very quickly from about 160 to as high as $227 in a really short time, in 2 days. Because there was some good news that came out that they are having a partnership with PepsiCo, okay? So you need news like that for a stock to shoot up, and with a high short interest, obviously they shot up like crazy. But like I said, like all the stocks that have short squeezed last week, they're crashing back down just as quickly. But I'm expecting Beyond Meat to find some support here around $172, $173, and they may potentially move back up, okay? So in terms of options that I've been holding spreads for a long time. For May 2021, this was back when Beyond Meat was still in the 120, 130 range. I just wanted to give myself a lot of time, because Beyond Meat tends to spike very quickly but can trade sideways for a long time. So I wanted to give it a lot of time. I had a combination of put credit spreads and call debit spreads on this expiring on May 21st, and I need Beyond Meat to stay above 190 to make the full profit on this. So that's what I'm holding for Beyond Meat. But definitely watch out for it. If it finds some support here on 172, 173, I wouldn't be surprised if they start moving back up, okay? Another stock that I'm interested in, which has a high short interest, is actually IRobot. IRobot is just a few stocks below here with a short interest of 38.45%. If I pull up the stock here, you'll see how IRobot also performed. It spiked up quickly from around 114, 115 to like 198 or almost $200, and started coming back down. Found some pretty decent support right where it's squeezed off of right here. So watch it for IRobot. If they also get some piece of good news, I'm expecting IRobot to go back up. This is another company that I'm bullish on for the long term. I don't have any options or shares on it yet right now. I used to, but I sold a lot of them. But IRobot is good company to be invested in, because robo vacuums are going to be the future. So if there are any new catalysts come out, especially with that kind of a high short interest, IRobot definitely has a lot of potential, okay? So I mean, those are the main stocks I wanted to share with you guys here today. Facebook, it's not much of a short squeeze candidate, but just the fact that this is a stock that I'm bullish on. They're a highly profitable company. They have been beaten down for a long time now, and they had a huge run up leading to earnings, and obviously dropped right after earnings. And there's a whole lot of drama going on between them and Apple regarding privacy when it comes to ads and what Apple is trying to block versus what Facebook wants to advertise. There's just a lot of drama going on there, but just add Facebook to your watch list. I think at 262 they are fairly undervalued. If I'm considering spreads on them, if at all, and if I do get spreads, I wouldn't go for a few weeks out or a month or two out, maybe several months out. And that's the only way Facebook would work out. Okay, they don't have the highest short interest. All these big cap companies which have a bright future don't tend to have a high short interest. But that's mainly wanted to share with you guys here today. Watch out for a continuation potentially in Virgin Galactic, FuboTV. Talk to you about the Beyond Meat and iRobot. These are classic stocks that can potentially spike. Okay. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys here today. If you enjoyed it, please do smash that like button. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, or if there are any other stocks that you think are going to short squeeze or have a bright future. And subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. Okay. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.